21 youth plaintiffs who basically assert that the government has perpetuated a fossil fuel-based energy system that threatens their constitutional rights to life, liberty, and property in the future.
Paul, the demonstration is breaking up now. Could you explain its purpose?
Today we gathered to support the 21 youth plaintiffs in the case Juliana versus the United States. Unfortunately, the case was delayed due to a stay in the Supreme Court. It was scheduled to start today, but it did not. But there are rallies happening all across the United States, and we wanted to stand in solidarity with those other rallies and with the youth plaintiffs themselves.
Now, a stay doesn't mean it's canceled. What is a stay?
A stay means that the Supreme Court is putting the case on hold while it reviews more information to see if it should go to trial.
So what is the case all about?
This case is a piece of climate change litigation that specifically involves 21 youth plaintiffs who basically assert that the government has perpetuated a fossil fuel-based energy system that threatens their constitutional rights to life, liberty, and property in the future based on the impacts of climate change that result from the overuse of fossil fuels.
They're not taking the fossil fuel companies to court. It's the government itself, the federal government.
Right. In this case, they're not suing the fossil fuel companies, they're suing the federal government because the federal government has a responsibility to its citizens to protect public trust resources for everyone's use. And in this case, the federal government has failed to live up to that responsibility, and the impacts that these youth are feeling from climate change and will feel into the future are the result of that lack of responsibility on the behalf of the government.
Now, I recall Bill McKibben and others saying, why didn't Obama settle in the last weeks or months of his administration? That would have been something if he had settled this rather than... Did he fight it in court? Did the Obama administration fight it?
Obama administration fought this case in court, ardently in fact, and I definitely can't speak for why the Obama administration may have chosen not to settle, but there may have been many strategic reasons. I know that the Obama administration was much more sympathetic to the climate change movement than the current administration, but the past is what has occurred, so.
And at what level of court is it?
Right now the case is at the district court level, but the stay has been appealed all the way to the Supreme Court level. So the trial actually hasn't started yet. The stay that's being heard by the Supreme Court is a pretrial motion that's happening before the trial even begins. And the decision by the Supreme Court will determine whether the case can go to trial at the district level or not.
And what are the plaintiffs asking? What do they want as a remedy?
The plaintiffs are asking for the federal government to, first of all, admit culpability in perpetuating a fossil fuel-based energy system that threatened their rights. And then second of all, to implement a climate change recovery plan throughout all levels of the government, all branches of the government at the federal level, that will allow for climate change to be stopped, or at least to allow its worst impacts not to be felt. And we recognize that this is a global problem that requires a global solution, but the United States is a crucial factor in that global solution, and as of now, it's not only at a standstill, it's backtracking on all of these issues, and we need that to change as fast as possible.
If people are interested in getting in touch with organizations, groups that are working on this issue, is there a website or an email?
For this case in particular, you can go to ourchildrenstrust.com to learn more about the plaintiffs and to see the other work that the organization is doing. I'd heavily encourage donating to that organization if you feel passionate about this issue, because in addition to this federal case, the organization is filing cases in many states throughout the country and even has a branch of its organization working on taking these kinds of atmospheric trust litigation strategies to other countries. And in fact, they've had a lot of success in helping move these arguments to successful court cases in other countries, including Colombia, that just had a successful Supreme Court case affirming the same kinds of rights that these plaintiffs are asserting for themselves in the United States.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.